everyone. We'll move to the next part of the Python. So one very important task we are going to do is to store something in a variable, which is many time we need to do, or all the time we need to do. So there are a few things we need to remember how to choose a name of a variable. For a beginner, maybe it's important. The guys who have done little programming, it's not a big deal. So first thing is, of course, we can start the variable name with a string, which we have done. It can be in the small letter or it can be capital letter. But can we start the variable name with a number or not? So we have just tried to define here some number and then some string. Of course, I know it will throw some error. So it's telling invalid token. So this is not a valid name. But if we were writing in other ways, and let's comment it. So this is the way to comment something in Python. We can use hashtag. So this is telling it's not defined, which means we have not defined any value to it, so it's not able to print it. But it's a valid variable name, we can use it. So we can use underscore, we can use any string, smaller, capital, but it cannot start with a number. Of course, number can come later after this string. Sometimes what may happen, there are some reserved keyword which Python uses for many tasks. So like class, and there are many. I find it difficult to remember it. So typically what I do before defining a variable, I can type it and then run it. So it's telling invalid syntax, some syntax error. So it means Python is understanding class means something else, and it's expecting that standard format. So I should not use class as my my variable. If I want to refer to some class, I can call it my class, or I can call some other name I can use. But this class means Python understand it in different way. Like you can use when we are defining as numpy as np, and if you print np, by default collaborate whatever last entry you have in the text, the code part. So it's referring to something. So I can define something. I can say np is equal to 5, and now if I print np, it's now telling np is equal to 5. Now I cannot define my like I was defining my array. So now in the beginning what happened, I defined import numpy, and we will call it np in this part of the program. But now when I define np is equal to 5, so now my np referred to 5, not to the numpy. So when I print np, I am getting a value of 5, which is fine. But now I cannot do this operation because my np is storing a value of integer 5. It does not know how to deal with this library. So you can use this kind of variable name and you can store some value, but you will lose the reference. So you need to be careful. If you need those references, you need those libraries, those functions later, you should not rename it, you should not store some other value. Now the best way is, if you type something and it said it's not defined, it means it's a free variable, we can store something in it. Or if we know we are happy to rewrite something, we can use predefined. If let's say I know foo is equal to 15, now I do some programming and then I want to store foo is equal to, let's say, some other value. So I know in this case I am no more interested in the earlier value of foo, so I am updating this. Typically we do this in when we run some iteration, we want to keep on updating the value, we want to store the latest value, so we intentionally rewrite. So it's good to rewrite, but we should be aware what we are rewriting, and whether we are losing some information, or that was the irrelevant or the old information. So these are very simple things for me. I have never tried to remember those keywords, etc. I type the variable name when I want to use it, and if there is no issue based on whatever we discuss, this means it's a free variable, I can use it. Or if I know there is no harm in rewriting it, I can rewrite it. So that's it. See you in the next session.